Hi, this is Lauren Fogelman at ExpertSportsPerformance.com. Work with highly driven, motivated athletes on being cool, calm, and confident under pressure for consistent high performance. Today's topic is the home court advantage for the Miami Heat. They're in the final game, Game 7 of the Eastern Conference, and they want to win against the Indiana Pacers. Even Lebron James was quoted as saying that he was so excited for this opportunity to have that home court advantage for the final game. They worked all season long for it. Now, we all know the obvious reasons for having that advantage, but there's one disadvantage to being in your home court with basketball that I'm going to get to at the end of the video. First of all, the Miami Heat, they've been here before in 2012 against the Celtics, and they know what happens in order to rise up to the challenge and be able to get really focused under pressure. But the Pacers and Heat, they're pretty evenly matched. We've been watching it game in and game out during this whole conference. So it's going to be the mindset that's going to really help whichever team it is rise up to the challenge and end up being the winners. What is the mindset that they need? Well, the first thing is presence. They have to be able to get out of their own head and be able to trust that they have what it takes, as well as their teammates pulling it together to do what's necessary. Staying focused in the moment and having those quick responses is really going to make a difference. Presence does matter. Add to presence power. Know what's in your control and what's not. When players start to worry about the what ifs, should I be doing this? Or is this a better way to go? And they think too much, they get in their own way, and your thinking actually slows down responses. It causes a hesitation because your brain just can't respond as quickly as your body can when you're not thinking. So get out of your own way, trust that you've practiced and you know exactly what to do, and then let it go. After that, play. I don't want you to just play safe in order to just do good enough. I want you to be able to play full out. Take calculated risks. Allow yourself to rise up to the challenge and stretch yourself, going even further than you thought you were absolutely capable of doing. Because you can do it when you're under extreme pressure and you're able to rise up to the challenge and you have presence of mind. You can then play full out and go beyond what you thought was possible. And it is a game changer. So go ahead, stretch yourself, take some calculated risks, and play to win. After playing full out is purpose. Okay, what's your reason for wanting to win? And it's not just that I want to win. Not good enough. Instead, I want you to dig a little bit deeper into the core as to why you really want to do it, why you push yourself. What's that gut motivator? What is the big reason that you continue to train hard, play full out, and you're going the full distance? And that's what I want you to get in touch with under these pressure situations, is that big why, and making it as personal as possible, because when you can, then it sets you up to go the full distance. So this is the mindset that you need to have in those power moments when you have to really come through, the pressure's on, and this is the deciding game. Presence, power, play it full out, and purpose. It's going to take you the full distance and give that advantage over the opponent. So one of the things that I said is that there's many advantages. And studies have shown that the one thing that actually basketball players do better when they have that home court advantage and they're in a clutch situation is rebounds. They average more rebounds at the most important time, especially when the clock is ticking down, than any other time during the game, especially when they have that home court advantage. But as I said, there was one time when that home court is a disadvantage. And that's also in clutch moments when you have the free throw shot. Why is that? Well, because first of all, there's a change in the rhythm. Instead of it being really, really fast and spontaneous, everything just comes to a stop and all eyes are on you. Also, because it's your home crowd and they want you to be able to concentrate, they get quiet. All of a sudden, all that cheering, all that noise from the background that you're used to, it's dead silence. And they think they're doing you a favor. But they're not. When you have that dead silence, then the third factor comes in. You have time to think. And when you think too much, and you try to be able to think about what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be avoiding, which is a problem in and of itself, that leads to missed shots. So the only time home court is a disadvantage is when you're in that clutch moment and then you're on the free throw line. So otherwise, everything else is to your advantage and you're good to go. Now, what is the reason that the Heat want to win, and what's the purpose for the Pacers? Well, the Heat, they want to avoid a disappointing end to their season. They want to win because they know that they had the talent, they had the skills, and it's expected of them. The Pacers, they have nothing to lose, and that's an advantage. They're winners by just making it this far in the playoffs and giving the Heat a run for their money. So they don't have to hold back, because even if they lose, they've really won as far as they're concerned. So there's advantages on both sides, pros and cons. We're going to see what plays out in Game 7. And here's your challenge. No two athletes are alike. So when it comes to pressure, are you clutch or do you choke? Neither one is good or bad. It's just a perception and a mindset issue. That's the only difference, because your skills and your technique don't change that drastically from one game to the other or from practice to competition. The only thing that really changes is how we perceive things, how we show up, what we're reading into it. It's a mindset issue. What I'd like you to do then is to write down one thought that puts additional pressure on you. And after you write that down, I want you to really think about it. Is it absolutely true that this is the only way to look at it? Or what would be some alternatives? And write down the alternatives. Once you do that, what's an alternative that you could possibly see happening to you? A different way of looking at it. Now think about your strengths. What is it that you bring to the game to get the job done? And know what your strengths are. See if you can come up between 3 to 5. 3 would be great. 5 would be best. And next, what I'd like you to do is take that alternative way of looking at that pressure moment, seeing your strengths come into play, and play it out in your mind's eye. See yourself being in that pressure moment where you have to be clutch, and you take a different way of looking at it. You see your strengths come into play, and it works, just like you always thought it was possible. And once you can get that mental movie down, play it over and over again in your mind so that what is now just a movie becomes reality when you're in the moment. You have the ability to use your mind to be able to change your reality and have a different response when you're under pressure. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear a post from you. Click the likes button to pass it forward. My mission is to show you how to stay cool when the heat is on. Lauren Fogelman, ExpertSportsPerformance.com.